Granddaddy P here. Good afternoon. I want to talk at length right now about the Kim Soo-hyun case. You know, he's being disparaged, I think, appropriately. But let me say this from the outstart. There have been no charges against Kim Soo-hyun. Whether I think there should be or not doesn't really matter at this point, but none have been brought against him. So, at least where I live, you are innocent until proven guilty. But all that said, it doesn't look good. And I have a personal opinion, a very strong personal opinion, about Kim Soo-hyun. And I'll just say it right off the top, and then I'll tell you why. I think the man's guilty as sin. My personal opinion. I think he's a pedophile. I think he's a groomer. I also think that he, down the road, down there toward the end, pushed that young lady into doing what she did. And let's not forget that he ghosted her when she reached out for help. It would have taken him 5 minutes to hear her call, maybe say something to somebody, and it would have been settled, or on the verge, or on the way to being settled. But he just said, ignore. So let's go through this. Why I think this man is guilty, and I do. Number one, he has yet to provide a single ounce of energy, evidence to defend himself. He has not defended himself in any way. First, he waited weeks after the thing blew back on him. And then his response was an emotional press conference where he did his signature crying act, which he's good at, wearing tons of makeup, hair in place. Yeah. I think he even had lip gloss on, for crying out loud. And that's what he did. He said he was right in doing what he did. I want you to think about that. He said he was right in doing what he did. He ghosted a woman who was reaching out for help, completely ignoring her, and giving her phone number to the press. And he said he'd do it again. That should tell you just about everything you need to know about Kim Soo-hyun. But there's more. There are photos. There are videos. There are texts. And there's even audio. All condemning this man for what he did. All of it. What is his response? Well, his response obviously is a complete. It began with a complete and utter denial. I never had a relationship with that woman. Huh. Heard that before. Someone much older. The first person to say that I can remember was a president of the United States. You're not that big, Kim. But yeah. And then it was, well, okay. Yeah, okay, you caught me. Yeah, okay. But she was an adult the whole time. But evidence released refutes that claim, those claims. And in response to evidence provided, his response was not to provide any evidence at all, except to hire people to simply say, that's not true. That's false. That's fake. That's AI. Were they independent? Oh, no. Oh, no. He wouldn't dream of hiring an independent. Or giving it to an independent. You don't want to hire them because they're no longer independent. The company he hired to do these forensic analyses was the same company that was involved in the Nth Room, and I believe that other big case in Gangnam with the members of Big Bang. Yeah, that one. That company. That's a company has a history of looking out for the interests of their employer. Not at all an independent forensics expert. So basically what Kim Soo-hyun has done all along is say, this is false. We've investigated ourselves and we've found ourselves not guilty. Kind of like what the police do with internal investigations. We investigated ourselves and found nothing wrong. Well, that's the same thing here. No independent look at any of this. So that's it. Now let's take this a little further. Think about this. All of his advertisers and a major production company are lining up to sue this man for millions and millions of dollars. Millions of them. Approximately $200 million. That's a lot of dinero, folks. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of won. It's a lot of bucks. But instead of providing evidence / proof that he in fact is not guilty of these charges, although charges have not formally been filed, you know what I mean. Not guilty of this. He just dodges and sues. I know I have more money than you, so I'm going to sue you till you can't afford it anymore. That's his plan. And hire people to back me up when I say I deny that's not real. That's his whole plan. His whole plan. And it's not working. It's not working. Because those advertisers are lining up to sue his backside. And a major production company for a major K-drama project is going to sue him for probably $108, guess what? $1 million! But yet, he brings nothing to the table to exonerate himself. Instead, all he does is besmirch the character of a dead woman who cannot defend herself and her grieving family. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's his whole plan. Besmirch, deny, delay, sue, but provide nothing in real defense. Because he can't. He can't. He just can't. I never had relations with that woman. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Clinton. Yeah, never dated her. Never dated her. Oh, okay, well, I did. I've never been to her house. Well, oh, yeah, okay, I have. And on and on and on. So, all that said, my point is, my humble, or not so humble, however you want to look at me, in my opinion, the man is guilty of sin. Charges may never be brought against him in a court of law. He may never do a single second of time. However, he definitely deserves to be canceled. And I highly assert that he should. Granddaddy P. Signing out.